Good morning, everyone. Is it on? Is it? Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to get us started. If you want to go ahead and grab a seat, we're going to get started here. Conversation at 10:30. All right. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I want to go ahead and call my last meeting to order. There you go. Yes, I can start that way. So thank you so much for joining us during this busy holiday season. I'm so glad you're here. Now, as you know, this is my last time doing it, so I'm going to do it good. Safety is top of mind. We want to make sure that if there is an emergency, you know how to get out of here. So you have two exits doors right here. You have two exit doors right there that lead to the patio. Through the pre-function area, you can walk around the building, past the security cameras, watch out. You can also come back the way you came in, hopefully that's the way you came in, to the right and out the front door. So that's it, that's the last. See, how is that for my last one? I just did it. All right, so, but now I can't editorialize because I need to do the Pledge of Allegiance. That one does not get any modifications. So if you want to go ahead and stand, let's go ahead and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you very much. Now I'd like to go ahead and proceed with the approval of the minutes from our November general membership meetings, and which was also our annual business meeting. The minutes were included in your handout. Are there any additions, corrections, or changes to the distributed minutes? If so, go ahead and raise your hand or submit your feedback using the Zoom chat window. I don't see anyone, so they stand as distributed. Next, I want to go ahead and acknowledge our antitrust statement, which is up on the screen, and you have it also in your packet on Zoom. Yes. So we want to make sure that we're encouraging discussions that promotes all realtors and does not restrict competition among members or potential members. We work to foster a forum for open discussion of diverse opinions without attempting in any way to discourage or sanction any business practices. We do acknowledge this before every CAAR meeting, and you know, you've got it's on the screen right now, so we're all set. If there's little balls on the tables, if anybody talks in a way that you know, veers on antitrust, you can throw balls. That's what we're going to do today, but hopefully we won't need that. All right, so before we get into the heart of the program, I wanted to make sure that we thank our sponsors. We could not put those events together without the help of our sponsors, and we really, really appreciate their support of our association and their presence with us today. This morning, our presenting sponsor is Fulton Mortgage Company. And we also have supporting sponsors, Farm Credit of the Virginia, Southern Development Homes, and Virginia Credit Union. We really appreciate what their support, as I said. And at this time, actually, I'd like to invite Janelle Loving from Fulton Mortgage Company to share a few words. Where's Janelle? Come on, Janelle.
All right, so y'all just saw me a couple weeks ago, so I'm keep it short and sweet. And of course, y'all know I'm nervous all the time. So thank you guys for what you do. We appreciate the opportunity to support you guys. Thank you, Ann, and all of the outgoing members for their hard work, and for the incoming members. I don't know, gear up for battle, I guess. I feel like, thank you for your service. But yeah, thanks you guys. Have a happy, safe holiday. Stay warm. They just like turn the heat off on us for no reason. So bundle up, stay safe, and here's to a prosperous 2025.
Thank you so much, Janelle. That was short and sweet. All right, I want to say that I truly believe that when you become a member of our association, you'll be reaching for something higher in both professionalism and purpose. And even though we work for different companies, we all support each other in our communities through the good times and through the bad. Inevitably, when a group of committed professionals come together in this way, we form bonds of mutual respect, friendship, and caring with others in our association. As we approach the new year and a time of looking ahead, it's also important to take a moment and look back. This last year had moments of triumph and moments of deep loss. I'd like to read the I haven't even started and I'm already getting emotional. I would like to read the name of our members and former members who have passed this year. CAAR member Warren Mopin, realtor with Hannah Roy Wheeler Realty, and Wesley West Surrey, realtor with Montague Miller and Company Westfield. We also have former CAAR members, Arthur Bird Kaiser, who was a CAAR Past President, Virginia Mason Hester Graham, Deborah Murdoch, and Kay Sands Peters. I'd like at this time to take a moment of silence, if you will. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I want to make sure to thank Josh's family for coming. Thank you for coming here and being here for this big moment for Josh. I'm very excited to pass the gavel to him. I can't even tell you how much, like super excited. And I'm glad you're here for this event. I think Josh I'm very excited for next year and everything Josh has to bring to the association. We're very lucky. And you are too, if you have him had in your life for so long. So we're happy that you're sharing him with us for a bit. I also want to extend a warm welcome to two Albemarle Housing Improvement Program guests, AHIP. We have Christine Zakos, Board President. Where's Kristen? Where did you go? Uh-oh. Of course, that's like it's like at the Academy Awards, like you're in the bathroom when they announce your name, but that's always like, and yes, she ran for the hills. And Catherine Kiefer, is Catherine Kiefer here? Oh, she's with Kristen. Okay. All right. So, and Catherine Kiefer is their development director. So we're glad they're on the premise. All right, right now, I'd like to go ahead and it's my immense pleasure to invite our current president of Virginia Realtor, Lauren Aurora, to the podium for her words of welcome. Come on, Lorraine.
Morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Are you all excited? Especially Josh? Yes. Yes. That's good. That's good. So I can't walk and chew gum, so I have to read. But I'm going to say just a few words here. As realtors, we often talk about location. However, when it comes to leadership, the most important location is in our hearts and in our minds of the people we serve. As your president of Virginia Association of Realtors, I'm reminded daily that leadership is less about titles and more about trust and integrity. It's not about being at the top. It's about being at the center of collaboration, inspiration, and accountability. For me, leadership is deeply rooted in my values, the 3 F's that guide my life: faith, family, and friendships. Faith gives me purpose. Family gives me perspective. And friendships, like I have with many of you here, including, where's my partner in crime, Denise Ramey, give me strength. These values have not only shaped my journey as a realtor, but also my approach to leadership. Leadership in real estate, much like in life, is about service. It's about putting others first, having a servant's heart, empowering your teams, creating opportunities for everyone to grow and succeed. Whether it's helping a first-time home buyer or a new agent or an experienced one, It's advocating for policies that protect our industry. True leaders don't show the way. They walk it hand in hand with those they lead. And as we embark on this journey together, I challenge each and every one of you, not only the directors, but all of you all present here, because you are leaders, not just in your businesses, but in your communities and in your profession. Let's build connections that last, solutions that matter, and a legacy that will inspire future generations of realtor leaders. Together, we have the power to not just navigate change, but to lead it. Let's do it with faith in our mission, a commitment to family values, and friendships that remind us that we are never alone. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for making the trip, Lorraine. I know Lorraine is on a inauguration trip of Virginia this week. This is what, 4 out of 6? Yeah. So we really appreciate you taking the time to travel and be here for that. It means a lot. We really appreciate it. Oh, it's all about Josh today. So at this time, I'm honored to welcome our motivational speaker, Team Thorne of the Point Church. So.
Well, thank you so much. How's everybody doing? Awesome. Well, my name is Tim. Like it's been said, I just want to take a moment and say it is such an honor to be here today. I'm honored to celebrate such a joyful occasion as we're all here in honor of our current leadership, past leadership, as well as future leadership as well. Josh and I have been friends for quite some time now. My wife and I, we moved here to Charlottesville about 9 years now, and Josh served as our agent, and we've been friends ever since. And he has been with us through every step of our journey over these last 9 years. And my hope is that I can share a little bit of my journey today, as well as celebrating the passing of the gavel and the baton. But I think today is about more than that. Today is about honoring a leader who has sharpened and inspired others through his resilience and dedication. And so I wanted to take a minute right now and honor Josh because he has sharpened and inspired so many people, myself included. My wife would say the same. And as we reflect on this milestone today, our theme couldn't be more appropriate. I want to talk a little bit about adversity today, and specifically how adversity brings clarity. And I think it couldn't be more appropriate because adversity is something that we can all resonate with, right? Life has its fill of setbacks and challenges, and we all know that full well. But it's these setbacks that force us to pause and reflect, to focus on what really matters. Because adversity, as difficult as it might be, has the power to clear the table and to peel back the layers and reveal the core of who we are and what we value. There was a day early in my marriage when, it was probably about 10 years ago now, that my wife's mother-in-law, she stopped by the house. She stopped by the house unexpectedly, unannounced, after not speaking to my wife and I for nearly 6 months. And she's my mom, but this wasn't adversity for me because I wasn't home. But it most certainly was from my wife, who was home. And needless to say, it was a testing and defining moment for our relationship. And much like an unannounced house guest, adversity has a way of showing up in our lives and disrupting, doesn't it? Adversity and setbacks have a way of disrupting our plans and upending our assumptions and testing the limits of our resolve. Adversity can come into our lives unexpectedly and force us to pause and to reflect. On a much more serious note, much like many of you, I've faced many seasons of life that have tested me in ways that I never expected. And one of the most profound ways that it did began in 2021, when my oldest daughter and princess, Gabby, at just 4 years old, was diagnosed with heart failure out of nowhere. And my wife and I were faced with an immediate, unexpected sense of adversity. And so we moved into the hospital and had so many questions. And the days that followed were filled with fear and uncertainty. My wife and I, we wrestled with questions that we couldn't answer. We faced decisions that we weren't prepared for and a future that we couldn't control. And then just 2 months later, Gabby passed away. And it felt as if the ground beneath us had collapsed and crumbled. And the world around us caved in, closed in, and there was a darkness that we experienced that I just frankly can't put into words. But in the months that followed, we walked through grief and questioning and doubt and uncertainty and all of the things that you would expect. But as life would have it, as if the weight weren't already enough, our second daughter, that same year, Lucy, 6 months later, was diagnosed with the same exact heart failure. And so we moved right back into the hospital, and we put her on the heart transplant list and entered into another season of waiting and hoping and praying for her life. And then finally, the phone rang on Mother's Day of 2022, 6 months later, to tell us that a heart had become available and was offered to my Lucy. And she had a successful heart transplant in 2022, and Lucy has been thriving for the past 2.5 years. Praise God. Amen. In those dark seasons, clarity didn't come easy. I wish I could tell you that we learned immediately through that exactly what was happening in the world and why this was happening to us, but we had all of those questions. And even in the middle of the darkness that we were in, there was a light that helped our way, and that light was the presence of people in our lives to walk alongside us, people including Josh and Mallory and many others who are even in the room here today. Josh's consistency and compassion and his unwavering support during those seasons made a profound impact on my life. He didn't have all the answers. No one did. None of us did. But he showed up and he reached out, he checked in, and he reminded me that we weren't alone. He was with us in the journey before, during, and after. Josh's presence in my life through that season has taught me a very valuable lesson. And it's already been shared today. And it's that leadership is not just about a title or a position. And friendship is about so much more than sharing something in common with someone else. It's about showing up consistently and faithfully for yourself and for others in both the chaos and the calm. It's about prioritizing the 3 F's: faith, family, and friends. And Josh's example in my life has taught me that adversity may be painful, but it has the power to refine us. It clears away the noise and it sharpens our focus, reminding us of what truly matters most. You see, it's easy to let adversity define us, to see setbacks as the end of the story. But what I've learned and what Josh has lived out in his example is that adversity doesn't have to have the final word. I've learned firsthand, and I'm still learning, that adversity isn't just an obstacle, it's also an opportunity. There's a principle of my faith that has guided me through the seasons, and it's this: just like gold is refined in a fire, life's fires and challenges have the power to refine us. Gold doesn't perish in a fire. It's not consumed by flames. It's refined by it. And in the same way, we don't just endure adversity, because with the right support and perspective, we can grow stronger, clearer, and more focused. And one phrase that I've held on to is that a setback is really just a setup for a comeback. And what feels like the ending is often just a beginning. What often looks like failure is often the foundation for something greater. In 1997, I had the privilege and opportunity of traveling to California to see the great redwood forest. I don't know if anybody has experienced that for themselves, but these are just giants of trees and incredible to stand before because you feel so small. And so as I was standing before these towering trees that represent just a living testament to resilience, just all of these years of growth. And aside from their sheer size, what's interesting to me is that fires might seem destructive to a forest like this, but they were actually essential to these redwoods. Fire is essential to the growth of the redwood forest because they clear the way for new growth. They reduce the competition, and they can even release seeds from cones. And so just like the redwoods, we too can embrace the refining fires in our lives, knowing that they have the power to clear obstacles, to deepen roots, and to grow, to help us to grow into something taller and stronger and far more enduring. And Josh's leadership embodies this truth. He hasn't just avoided adversity, he has embraced it. He's leaned into it. He has run towards it, knowing that by embracing the refining process, it allows to shape him into the leader that we honor today. Josh has demonstrated that adversity can be an opportunity to reassess, realign, and rise stronger. And so I hope that my journey and Josh's journey as well can serve as reminders that no matter how hard the road may be, strong growth is always possible. And so what does this mean for us today? It means that we have a choice. Each of us in this room, as well as everybody outside of this room, has a choice to make. Are we the kind of people who walk away when things get tough? Or are we the ones who stay? Showing up, not just in the storms, but in the ordinary, everyday moments as well. Each of us has the opportunity to be that kind of presence in someone else's life. And so as you think about your life in leadership, ask yourself, who is it that needs you to show up? Not just in the crisis, but in the quiet, everyday moments as well. Adversity has a way of revealing who we are and who we can become. And it's through the examples of leaders like Josh that we're reminded of the strength and clarity that can emerge from life's refining fires. And so as we celebrate Josh's leadership today and our current leadership as well as our future leadership, I'm deeply grateful, not just for these leaders and who they are, but also for what they've taught us. And I want to encourage all of us to strive to be the kind of people who walk through the fire with others, turning adversity into an opportunity for clarity, growth, and transformation. And whatever fire you may be facing today, whatever setback you might be facing, remember this: it might just be the setup for your greatest comeback ever. Thank you.
Wow, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for those inspirational words, and I'm sorry for everything you've gone through, but thank you for sharing. Thank you. Well, let's go ahead and continue the inspirational momentum, and I want to go ahead and celebrate our achievements this year at CAAR. There's a lot that goes on throughout the year that I think we just kind of go ahead and do it. And this is our one chance to kind of tell you, here's all the things that CAAR has worked on this year on your behalf. So this is, we're going to go through the various committees and what they've achieved and what they've done. And I think it's really important for us to take a moment to kind of appreciate everything that has happened this year. So I want to actually start by using some numbers. Let's do CAAR by the numbers. So first of all, the first number is 20,000. And that number is the $20,000 that CAAR has donated to the CAAR Foundation in its effort to make positive change in the local affordable housing front. So this is something that CAAR has donated out of the CAAR budget. That is not donations that members have made. This is a donation from CAAR. The next number is $12,500, and that is the amount of grant money that we have been able to secure to support our efforts. It's been used to strengthen our partnership with the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, Realties Chapter of Richmond. It's been used to promote the value of the realtors, to educate the public on how realtors advocate for home ownership, and promote fair housing for the LGBTQ+ community. The next number is 571, and that is the number of hours of education that CAAR has delivered. And that doesn't mean 571 hours in this building. It's 571 hours that has been organized by CAAR, whether it be in person, on Zoom, or if it's some of our educators going to other associations. So, but regardless, that's a lot of hours right there. So hopefully you've taken a few of those, at least, a bunch. The next number is 171, which is the number of volunteers that have shared their time, treasure, and talent with the association this year. They have taken part in, they have volunteered in committees, in councils, project teams, and all down the line. So thank you to the 171, and there's room for more. So make sure that, and I got to talk, that's later in the script, Allie, but there's opportunities for you to be part of that, to make this number grow next year, and I hope that you do. The next number is 90, and that number means that 90% of the Hillsdale Conference Center, which is where you are right now, revenue is generated by non-members, which is really, really impressive. The work that Brent has done to spread the word and to share CAAR's Hillsdale Conference Center with the world is really resonated with the community. There was a need, and we're filling that need. And the fact that 90% of our revenue comes from non-CAAR members is really a huge accomplishment that we're very proud of. We've had weddings, baby showers, graduations, memorials. I mean, you name it. We have business. Some of the CAAR member events have been various brokerages renting the space for their own meetings. And there's definitely room for more brokerages to use this conference center, and you should definitely consider it. So. All right, so those are all the numbers, but I have a lot more facts to share with you. So let's go with the different committees and councils and project team members and everything they've accomplished. Let's start with the Communications Committee. So the Communications Committee has encouraged members to lend their time and their energy and their talent to a couple of Habitat for Humanity build days, which is always a lot of fun. If you haven't done it, I mean, it doesn't require a lot of talent. Like I was painting. If you can use a paintbrush, you can volunteer, you can do it. The other thing that they've done, which is critical, is the new CAAR.com website, which I'm sure you've all gone to and you know exactly how great it is. We have a fabulous new website that has information for both members and members of the public. And it's just a new, very dynamic website that is going to be a lot easier for us to keep up to date and just really make sure that we stay current with the time. And I'm very proud of it. I was involved in the creation of it, so that's my baby. Additionally, the committee received a $2,500 Virginia Realtor Community Engagement Grant, which we used to create branded content through the Daily Progress. So we had 2 branded articles that we were able to kind of have interviews and then kind of control a little bit like what the narrative was in terms of sharing the value of the realtor and sharing the effort that CAAR is doing in the field of affordable housing and nonprofit work. So this was, really important ways for us to share what CAAR has and its members have to bring to the community. So we're very proud of that. The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee has been very busy this year again. They promoted the realtor profession and in the community by doing a lot of career fairs and community events. So really trying to reach a broader audience of potential members and really showing how the career of real estate is a great option for everyone. I'm sure you'll all agree. Most days. They also challenged us to be better by bringing influential speakers like Matt DeFanis to broaden our mindset and change the way we think or approach issues or situations. He's a phenomenal speaker. In addition, they received a $7,500 National Association of Realtor Fair Housing Grant to host a fair housing symposium that really allowed us to spend some time and get enlightened on the challenges that the LGBTQ community is facing when it comes to securing housing for themselves. There is a lot of challenges that they're facing. We put together an event that had an entertainment component and a very serious component of really talking about what their world is like. And it was a phenomenal event that was really made possible by NAR's Fair Housing Grant. Next, we have the Emerging Technology Committee. That the role of this committee is to evaluate data usage across the different systems and products that we offer to make sure that we are offering you the products that you need and that we're not offering that we're, and they're also looking at what other technology should we be looking at. They're considering what other things in order that we can add to what CAAR has to offer as part of its membership to make sure that we continue to provide you with incredible value in your membership in the association. They're evaluating new tools, they're looking at new products. So there've been, this is the first year that that committee existed, and then it was disbanded, and then it started again this year. So they're still kind of in the process of getting the wheels going and making sure that we've got everything, that we're looking at all of the new technology that's available. And by the way, you've got the name of all the members over there. You can thank them. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to read all those, am I? But all right. I mean, I can. I'm happy to. I know how long people want to be here because we get a lot. Then the MLS committee. The MLS committee had a little job this year. I don't know if you heard, but there was an NAR settlement that the MLS committee had to put into place and kind of enact the changes that were going to make sure that we stay compliant with the NAR settlement. And that was done over the summer, and it was done very successfully, especially when we compare notes with associations around us. The way that CAAR transitioned into the new way of life of the NAR settlement was very, very well done. In addition, in November, we added the showing service, which I'm sure you've all used by now and embraced. And it's been really a great benefit. It's an example of the kinds of products that we're trying to bring you more of. In addition, they've continued to deliver MLS rules and regulation updates and continued partnerships with Bright MLS, Harrisonburg Rockingham Association of Realtors, and Greater Augusta Association of Realtors. We share data with all of those, and it requires a lot of handling. And so that's their job. Then we have the Operations Committee. The Operations Committee has continued to monitor the financial stability of our association, balancing, the growth, the opportunity, all the changes, any kind of, change in numbers. And they've worked alongside with that's part of the Budget and Finance Committee is part of the Operations Committee. So that's where the numbers get crunched. They also evaluated various building maintenance, repair contractors, to make sure that we could continue to maintain the building and improve it in a way that allows us to continue to be profitable as a conference center, but also welcoming for all. In addition, they continue to nurture the Pat Jensen Leadership Academy, which is in the middle of its session right now. We've got a group that's kind of in the middle of their year of Leadership Academy. So, and I did this a few years ago, and it's fantastic. So this is really a great opportunity for people who are aspiring to get into positions of leadership to kind of get started and learn a little bit more about the association and about the leadership process as well. So that's also under the Operations Committee. The Professional Development Committee. Well, as I told you, with the 571 hours, they've been busy. They've done a lot. They've a survey, and they wanted to listen to the biggest challenges that everybody was facing, and they developed a series of Latte and Learn classes. I don't know if you've taken them, but they're all on Zoom. They're all on Friday morning. They're really very narrow topics. They're very precise, and they're a really great use of your time. They have industry experts, and they give you information you can use pretty much immediately. So if you haven't taken advantage of the Latte and Learns, it's super easy. It's free. It's Friday morning for an hour, 9 to 10, right? 9 to 10. And they had, how many did we have this year? 6. We had 6 this year. So every other month, basically, you have an opportunity for some very targeted information. They looked at social media laws for real estate, Charlottesville zoning, land surveys, cash contracts. I mean, this is not pie in the sky stuff. This is news you can use. They also did the CAAR Reconnect Conference and Expo, which I'm hoping that you all attended. It was a great opportunity to interact with some of our affiliates and get some continuing education credits. We had those Ignite sessions, which were really small, 30, 45 minutes classes on, again, very specific topics. And it was just a really great day of getting together, and we did it at the Point Church. It was fantastic. You have a beautiful building. All right, so next, the Professional Standards Committee. Now that committee, as you can see, there's 1 million people on that committee. That is basically, this committee handles all the people on this committee have taken the training, the professional standards training, which means that if there is, they can be called for ethics hearings and ombudsman and whenever there is an issue with professional, with code of ethics violation, those are the members that can be pulled from to put together a hearing panel to overview those things. But in order to be part of that committee, you have to take a 3-hour, there's a pre-class and then a 3-hour training on the process of professional standards hearings. So it is just it's a great opportunity to learn a lot more about the code of ethics, but also contribute and have an opportunity to kind of help make our association and our industry professional and maintaining the code of ethics. I mean, it's just a really great, it's not on here. I'm totally off. I'm sorry. Poor Allie. But it's, all right. The Public Affairs Committee, they held a Realtor Day on the Hill, which we urge Senate and House representatives to support the Virginia Realtor legislative agenda and other key bills impacting homeownership and property rights. So this is another event that you should definitely put on your calendar if you haven't yet. We basically all get on a bus with Neil, and hopefully we get on the bus if we get there on time, and we go to Richmond and we go to the Capitol, and we actually get a chance to meet with legislators and discuss bills that we are wanting them to support because they support homeownership rights, fair housing, affordable housing, any issue that has to do with our industry. We go and we talk to them to tell them, this is why you should support this. This is why we're in support of this particular bill. And whenever we come as a large group, they listen. If we only show up a couple of us, they're not going to pay attention. If we come, and you see groups going there and they all have like matching scarves and they've got like, it's a thing that it is really important to show up in a group and show that we are supporting the issues that matter to our industry. So if you haven't done it yet, please consider doing it. We also had a property rights luncheon that provided information and resource about UVA and its foundation as it relates to affordable housing. They also took action to urge the Board of Supervisors to update the GIS system because the data in the GIS system is outdated when it comes to the graphics, and they have them, they just have not updated them. So we did a letter and we asked them to go ahead and use that information, because right now, whenever you're looking at addresses and it's just dirt there because they built a house 3 years ago, but they have the picture that shows there is a house there. They just haven't put it up. So that's one of the things that they advocated for. And they also advocated to put a $10 million line item in the budget to support affordable housing. So that's another position that the Public Affairs Committees took. We also have, and actually, if you're curious about all of this, this coming Monday, December 9th, we have the Free Enterprise Forum, Pancakes and Politics. I know, sorry. So we have the Pancakes and Politics coming. You have the information right here coming up on Monday. So you still have time to register for that. Please consider doing so. We're going to have local delegates who are going to discuss topics such as affordable housing, transportation, and economic development. All right, then we have the Young Professional Network. They've partnered with the Professional Development Committee to put together some of the Latte and Learn that I talked about earlier. anything in there. But I could use a bottle of water. Oh. Talking. Sorry. Okay. Ooh, that's better. So YPN, again, they fundraised close to $1,000 for 5 local nonprofit that you see on the screen here through GoFundMe campaigns, and they're going to donate their remaining revenues to these organizations as well. And for the 10th year, they've supported the Salvation Army Angels, and there's 125 tags that we have gotten. There are 26, we counted right before we started. We have 26 of those angels left. The Salvation Army Angels are little tag. You take the tag, it's got the name of a child and their age and their needs. Those are children who are not going to have anything under the tree at Christmas if we don't help. So if you wouldn't mind thinking about stopping by the tree that's right outside, taking one of those tags and going shopping for a little child who's not going to have anything otherwise. We have extended the deadline for dropping the gifts back. So you basically drop the gifts back, don't wrap them, just put them in a bag with a tag attached to it. It has to be dropped off by the end of business on Monday the 9th, because they're due over there on the 10th. So please consider doing that, because that's a really important thing, and we're really thankful to YPN for spearheading this every year. All right, then we have the Commercial Council that they maintain their MLS platform, which feeds the CVC MLS, and they've implemented improvements to enhance the user experience and improve better navigation. So this is a, pretty substantial MLS that they have, which we're hoping kind of builds steam and can have even more adoption in the future. I also want to thank the Broker Council and the Past President Councils that are just, those groups meet a few times a year, and they're very critical because they provide a lot of evaluation and feedback of the strategic activities for the year. So they're the people that, we get in the room, we say, this is what we're doing, what do you think? This is the people you can be sure will tell you what they think. They are not shy about their opinion, and that's why we have them. Like, it is really important to be able to have the voices of members who are the past presidents. I mean, they've seen it all. I mean, literally, they've seen it all. And it's really interesting to get into this room and talk to them about what we're doing and getting their perspective. So I'm really thankful for both the Broker Council and the Past President Council for the time they've given this year. We really appreciate it. So that's it for the committees and the councils. I wanted to talk a little bit about RPAC. This year, for the 10th year in a row, we have earned the National Association of Realtors Triple Crown Award and the President's Cup. And that's no small feat. So in addition to members supporting RPAC through their annual Realtor dues, CAAR has also had various RPAC events, such as the YPN Waterpalooza, which is so much fun. And this year it wasn't blazing hot, so it was actually even more fun. And the Murder Mystery Dinner, which I don't know if you were here for, but it was also a great event. So they really they get very creative about ways to have people come over and participate and donate to RPAC, but have fun in the process. So this isn't something where we're not, yes, you should donate to RPAC because RPAC is it's the right thing to do, but you also get to have some fun and do some good at the same time. So we had definitely a lot of fun. So through these efforts, we raised $62,508. I'm not sure where the 8 came from, but thank you. With 48% membership participation this year. That's 489 people who have donated to RPAC. We have 29 major investors. Those are members who have donated at least $1,000 to RPAC this year. And so just, thank you for everyone who has contributed, regardless of the amount. $8 still works. But every dollar counts when we're supporting the Realtor's Voice. All right, so I really can't thank volunteers enough if you can't tell, because I really feel that this is really important. But that means that I want to encourage you all to participate in this, because as Quentin Beckett likes to say, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Is that what? So it's really important to have as many voices as we can so that we can make sure that we are marching in the right direction, that we have the right initiatives. You know, if you're sitting back and thinking, oh gosh, I wish, why did this committee not look into this or look into that? Then sign up for the committee and come tell us next year. I mean, we really do have committees that have very open discussion at every meeting. There is always a lot of issues being raised, and it's a really good use of your time. I promise you, you will get more out of it than you put into it. The deadline for the volunteer form that you can find on the brand new website is December 6th, which is tomorrow. So chop chop. All right. So at this time, I want to welcome Greg Slater, chair of the CAAR Foundation, to share an update.
Good morning. I'm Greg Slater, the 2024 chair of the CAAR Foundation, and we would like to take this opportunity to share what we've been working on and to make a presentation. So I'm going to hand the microphone over to Dave Norris, our executive director, to share a little bit about our programs.
All right, so it's great to be with you all. The CAAR Foundation, as you've heard, has 4 programmatic focus areas: funding, volunteer engagement, awareness raising and education, and policy advocacy. Thank you, Greg. All around the issue of how do we advance affordable housing here in our region. It's a huge need, and we got to work together to make this happen. Today, the CAAR Foundation is pleased and proud to award our first grant to the Albemarle Housing Improvement Program, AHIP. This $10,000 grant will assist AHIP in housing veterans and other public servants to preserve their homes and help them remain in our community. So we wanted to invite Kristen Sakis and Catherine Kiefer forward on behalf of AHIP to receive this contribution. And we'd love to have you share a couple words with us if you'd like.
I'm a little shorter. Good morning. So I'm really grateful to CAAR for thinking about all the various forms that housing take in this community. You all are involved in the housing industry in lots of ways every single day. But I think a lot of people don't realize that there are really a lot of ways to look at housing in our community. And I talk often about affordable housing as being a 3-legged stool. We need resources to housing. We need housing. We need enough housing at every income level so that the market will bear affordable housing. We also need subsidies, people who need actually help with housing. And then we need to preserve the affordable housing that we have. And that's what AHIP specializes in. We make sure that when people have a house that is an affordable house, that they don't lose it because of repairs, because a roof is falling in or the heating system's gone out or a flood has happened in the basement. So thank you so much for helping to make that possible, for helping people stay in their homes.
And stay tuned for additional grants to come. So when I talked about awareness raising and education, our first initiative is a collaboration between the CAAR Foundation and Charlottesville Tomorrow. And I'm here to invite Erin O'Hare with Charlottesville Tomorrow to talk a little bit about this new online housing resource guide that Charlottesville Tomorrow will be hosting. Erin, take it away.
So I'm seeing my grandparents soon and they're very old, so I want to stay healthy for them. Which way do I advance? This way? Okay. So as Dave said, I'm Erin O'Hare. I'm the neighborhoods reporter with Charlottesville Tomorrow. And if you aren't aware of what we do, we're a hyper-local online nonprofit newsroom. And as the neighborhoods reporter, a lot of my beat is housing. And I'm here to give you a peek at a project that we've been working on for the last few months. And you all are the first people to see it outside of our newsroom and Dave. So it's not quite done yet, but I can show you some of what we've got. It's called the Housing Resources Guide, and it's a community collaboration between Charlottesville Tomorrow and the CAAR Foundation. Thank you so much to Dave for reaching out and asking to collaborate on this with us when we asked, hey, would anybody be interested in this kind of resource? Like just using it? And Dave was like, we want to help you make it. So we are really grateful for that. I also want to give a shout out to my colleagues, Ashley Harper and Angeli Shaw, as well as CAAR fellow Mike Parisi, who've put many hours of work into this with me. We are really excited to share it with you and eventually soon with the community. And as I said, this is a beta version. It will maybe look a little bit different when we launch, but it will work about the same. So the name, the Housing Resources Guide, pretty much says it. It's a guide to nearly 100 housing-related programs in Charlottesville and Albemarle County. And I report a lot on housing, and I regularly speak with people who are experiencing a housing crisis. Their apartment complex was bought and they can't afford the new owner's rents and they can't find anywhere else to live in town. I talk to people who are struggling to pay the property taxes on a home that's been in their family for 100 years. I talk to people who are experiencing homelessness. And I regularly speak with folks who just aren't aware of many of the resources in our community that could help them find or stay in their homes. And I kept thinking, I really wish that there was one thing that I could give to people where it just had all those resources. Like I know about the work that say AHIP does, or that Pacham does, or that, the city has a tax relief program. I know about all of those things, but I was like, I wish I just had a piece of paper to give them. And because it didn't exist, I thought, well, let's make it. And it's designed to help low and middle income renters, homeowners, and potential home buyers who might need a little help with some housing related issues. So everything from fixing a leaky roof to eviction defense and property tax relief. And we know that some of these programs get maxed out every year, but we still feel like it's helpful and important to tell people that they exist and let them know that they can apply maybe for next time. So the guide will be hosted on the Charlottesville Tomorrow website, and we're still working on a few usability things, but this is kind of what you'll see when you get to the website. I wish I could scroll down, but of course, the plugin that we used to make this broke yesterday, so I could not put like a little scroll in, but it will work when we finally launch it. And people can go to the guide and choose from this drop-down menu, like what they need help with, whether they're located in Charlottesville or Albemarle County, and what their housing situation is. So you can click in all these boxes what your situation is. There will also be a search, and then it will bring you to just a very long scroll page of resources just like this. So you've got all the programs that they may be eligible for based on the criteria that they popped in. And these are just a few of them. It is, I think we have 96 programs right now. So it's a long scroll, but when you pop in your information, that will condense the list for you. And then when you click on an individual resource, this is what you'll see. So you'll see the name of the program, who qualify or who it's for, some of the details about it, who's the organization that's running it, do they offer application assistance, what's the deadline, what are your eligibility requirements, so you can know in advance whether or not this is something that you can spend your time applying for. Because a lot of the folks who we intend this to be for do not have time. These are people who are working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. And so we wanted to make it as easy as possible for them. And people, here's more of that, what will be on that page. And then people will be able to click on that little heart, up in the top right corner, to save a list of programs to print out or to email to themselves so that they don't have to write it all down in the moment, which can be really stressful. You can keep it all in one place and then have it for later. So we're hoping to launch the online guide in the new year. We will also have a print brochure, and we're going to have it in English, Spanish, Farsi, and a few other languages that folks have requested based on their clients' needs. And we'll be updating it annually, and whenever we are notified of some of the changes in the program. So if you want to know when it launches, you can sign up for our newsletter at cvilletomorrow.org, or you can come see myself and my colleague Misha Hood after, and we can tell you a little bit more and put you on our email list. And that's all I have for you. I will turn it back to Dave. There's our website. You can write that down if you want.
Thank you, Erin. One quick preview. We are going to be launching in early 2025 a volunteer program out of the foundation called Homeownership Navigators. This is based on a Pat Jensen Leadership Academy project that Lisa and others put together back in 2018, I believe. And basically it's going to recruit CAAR members and affiliates to serve as mentors and skilled volunteers to support aspiring first-time homebuyers. So you're going to be hearing a lot more about that in early 2025. We're very excited. I'm going to hand it back to Greg.
Thank you, Dave. Last but not least, our fundraising efforts continue. We wanted to share you a couple examples of things that we are ready to put into the world that I think will be impactful. We've got lots more to come. You may not remember, but in 2007, we created a workforce housing designation, right? And we rolled out coursework, and realtors flocked to it. I think the first class we taught had 70 people in it. And then we all know what happened in 2008. Our lives changed, our businesses changed, and our focus changed. But so to be a part of that and to see this Navigator program, it's pretty special, because at the end of the day, affordable housing is a big complex problem, and it takes a lot of little solutions. And those little solutions are going to come through us, right? Because we deal with people every day that could benefit from the knowledge that we have in the spaces that might impact them. So that being said, it's great to see that we have a lot of major contributors to RPAC. We started a challenge grant last month with a donation from Rod and Christy Phillips. Here's the barcode. If you we'd still like your contributions this year if you want to help us do more things like that. You can see the challenge grant at the top. We're keeping track of where the money's coming from each company as people make donations. We would love your support before the end of the year. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing, Greg and Dave. It's just amazing. I'm excited about all that is coming. All right, at this time, I want to recognize several more influential members for their outstanding service to CAAR in 2024, which are our outgoing board members. I invite the following members to join me on stage and accept a small token of appreciation. Keith, oh, there he is. I was hiding. Keith Davis, Director. Woody Fincham, Director, although you'll now see him as our incoming Treasurer. Lisa Herndon, immediate past President. Matthew Holt, who is a Director, but he's coming back. He's turning around and coming right back as a Director. Sharon Merrick, Director. And Amanda Spagoni, Treasurer, although you will now see her as the incoming President-elect. Thank you for your commitment. And, oh, you're giving, okay, you doing it? I don't think so. Down here? Other one, okay. All right. So right now I'd like to go ahead and I have a couple of President's Awards that I'd like to present. I just did 2 this year because there are 2 people I wanted to recognize, because one of them is about personal contribution to my presidency and support, and another one is for their contribution to CAAR's efforts and the amount of work that has gone into it. So the first person that I wanted to give a President's Award to is somebody who has been able to, who's basically, you always need somebody in your corner, somebody who's going to be able to tell it to you like it is, make sure that you know what you're, if you've got a question, they're always going to give you a real answer. Somebody who is going to be able to be your sounding board. Everybody should have somebody like that in their corner. And to me, it's Donna. Come on, girl. Thank you. The other person I'd like to give a President's Award to is somebody who has done an enormous amount of work this year, furthering a very, very important goal of the association, which is to get our foundation up and running, working hard, doing the things that we said we wanted to do, being, facilitating, being at the table everywhere affordable housing is mentioned, and just putting in motion all the things you've seen before. Greg Slater, I'd like to. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a lot. It's a lot. I know it's been a lot. Greg does it all with he makes it look like it's no work, but I know better. All right, this is the part where I get to say my last few things, but I went over by 10 minutes on the previous thing, so I'm going to make it quick. I promise. I'm trying to catch up here, Allie. All right, so as I did when if you were here when I was installed last year, I enjoyed talking to past presidents to get words of advice from them about what I'm about to go through. And this year, the person who gave me the best words of advice was none other than Percy Montague. It probably doesn't remember that. But this is something that was actually mentioned to him by Richard Mendenhall when Percy was president of Virginia Realtor in 1999. Is that right? I think it was. Oh, it was when you were president of CAAR, so it was even before that. So what Richard told Percy to kind of make sure that you keep your feet firmly planted on the ground when you're doing this job is that, I don't want to misquote him, this year's proud peacock is next year's feather duster. So if that doesn't, that makes for some pretty vibrant imagery, because I honestly don't think many people have compared Percy to a peacock before, but I could be wrong. But, but really, having now gone through the entire process, I really understand the message and the fact that you need to be very conscious of the fact that you're part of a continuum, and that continuum really, really matters. I am so thankful for every president who has come before me and every president who's coming after. And frankly, I thought the funny little lineup of presidents who don't, and the passing of the gavel, I thought that was just kind of like the comedic part of this event. But I get it now. I actually get it. It is literally a passing of the gavel. There is so much institutional knowledge that we're passing from one to the other. And I really understand that I am just one small piece in a very long chain. And I really appreciate that. And I'm excited for Josh to join the chain, because I think he's going to be an amazing president. He has everything he needs to be, to lead us right and to make sure that we continue to focus on the things that we need to focus on. So I really appreciate Josh taking up the mantle next year. So I want to, I wanted to make sure, I'm losing my words. So I want to make sure that we know that you know how much of an honor this has been for me to be here this year. And I really hope I represented your interests in a way that made your job easier. I hope I made you feel like we were in this together, because we've had some challenges and we've had to do some important things this year. I hope I made you proud of being a member of CAAR. And, and I hope I didn't say anything or do anything too embarrassing. But, we'll see. And if I did all those things, I didn't do them. We did it. And the people that I want to single out and to kind of mention is, first of all, our executive committee. The executive committee was myself, Josh as the president-elect, Amanda as the treasurer, and Lisa Herndon as the immediate past president, and Abby Tamman, our CEO. And this group of 5 people are the heart and soul of they're invaluable support to the president, because we're not operating in a vacuum. This isn't me on the top of a mountain making decisions. This is, there's a group, and then it goes down to the board and it goes to the committee. There's such a structure that is so supportive. And then the other part that is not included anywhere in this program that I want to make sure that I mention is the fact that if I did all those things, you have to thank Abby and all the staff at CAAR. I want us to give us some more. So, for example, Abby, she somehow manages to keep about 100 things on top of her priority list. It's like an inverted pyramid. She keeps 100 things on top and she makes them happen. And honestly, you have no idea how lucky we are to have Abby. Hopefully you do. Every time I go to a national meeting or state meeting, everybody tells me, God, you guys are so lucky to have Abby. I don't know how many headhunters are after her, but I don't care. She's not, But I mean, no, seriously, we are extremely lucky, and other associations know the value that Abby provides to the association. Thank you, Abby. Yeah. And I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I know. I'm going to be talking about everybody. Okay, sorry. I'm trying. Allie, speaking of, Allie is the most pleasant perfectionist I've ever met. She literally will not stop until it's 100% perfect. And she does it all with a smile, at least to my face. Not sure if that's always, but, and so on days like today, when I did not even give her my script, those are like the stuff of nightmare for her. I know that, but I really appreciate this. I mean, Allie is just, she does not know how to not be perfect. So thank you. Thank you, Allie. Then we get Tiffany, who knows everything about everything. And she's kind of like, she's a little bit like your no BS aunt that you love. Like she's kind of, she's going to tell it to you like it is. She's just, Tiffany knows everything. She has so much knowledge in her, and she's very giving of her time. And then you've got Teresa, who is like the great and powerful Oz, if you've seen Wicked. She is like the woman behind the Texas curtain doing all of the education. People don't even know that she does not, that she doesn't even live here. I mean, it's pretty amazing what she does. Then you've got Ian, who came back to us this year after stepping back and stepped back into the role of MLS director like he had never left. And he's the most unflappable human being I've ever met. He is just so cool. He's the coolest cucumber. It's just amazing. And then you get Brent, who does magic with the Hillsdale Conference Center, as you know. I mean, I literally think he levitates because he's everywhere all at once. Like he's just everywhere something is happening, he's there. Then you get Lauren, who's made us cool and current. She's like the Gen Z we didn't know we needed. She is like, yes, she is. She's been an incredible addition to the Hillsdale Conference Center team. And CAAR in general. It's been a pleasure working with her and, seeing her kind of blossom and grow. So then we get Darkita, the ray of sunshine that's at the front desk. She is awesome. Every time you walk in, she is welcoming, she's warm, she's happy. I mean, she is just, Darkita is a fabulous addition. And then we get Neil, who gives us the gravitas we need. Where'd he go? Where is he? I don't know. Well, tell him I told him that. And he makes us all respectable. And I think of him as the man version of Pat Whithelm when it comes to Robert's rules. He is the man where she's the woman. So, he's awesome. And then we have Kelly, who is newer, so I haven't had enough chance, but she comes from Denise's team. So I know she's going to be amazing. I'm not, there's no issue. There's no doubt about it. We're excited to see everything that you get to do. So basically, all the way down the line, we have an amazing staff. And I want us to go ahead and give them a round of applause right now. So it's been a great honor. It's really been a great honor to be your president this year. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my place on the wall of feather dusters. But I can't leave this yet. I need to, this is now the installation, finally. I'm going to stop talking. It's my great pleasure to welcome Sasha Tripp to perform the oath of office for incoming leadership. All right, I'm done.
Hey, everyone. Good morning. I'm a little taller than you, Ann. Thank you, Ann. So we will start by inducting the 2025 Board of Officers and Directors and then install our president separately. As I read the following names, I would request that these members come join me on stage. The following members have been newly elected as officers and directors. Amanda Spigoni, President-elect. Woody Fincham, Treasurer. Oh, there he is. Roxanne Carter Johnston, Director. Matthew Holt, Director. Georgia Lindsay, Director. And Jeff Matty, Director. Thank you, guys. And I will also announce the returning officers and directors. So Ann Burrows, immediate past president, get up here. You can't get to no dusting quite yet. Got a little more time. Kim Armstrong, director. Janice O'Hara, director. Oh, I thought I saw her this morning. Kevin Wilberger, director. Kyle Olson, director. Jessica Russo, director. And Candace Vanderlinde, director. Come on up, everybody. Where'd Candace go? Oh, that's right. I see that. That's later in my script. Thank you. We got everyone up here? Okay. It is assumed by your acceptance of your offices in the board of directors for the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors that you are in full accord with the objectives of this local association, the Virginia Realtors, and the National Association of Realtors. These objectives are to encourage and foster high ethical standards in our profession, to take an active interest in the welfare of your city, state, and county, to develop service as the basis of worthy enterprise, to interchange ideas, business methods, and transactions with other realtors, and to oppose harmful legislation and strive for legislation that is beneficial to real estate and property ownership. The obligations are to attend meetings regularly and fill your respective offices in a manner which reflects positively on the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors, the state and national associations, and on yourself. To make the decisions your office requires, and to see that the various committees perform their duties as delegated. I now administer the oath of office. If you will please raise your right hands. Do each of you solemnly and sincerely promise that you will administer your office to which you have been elected to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with the bylaws of your association, that you will observe and enforce the Realtor Code of Ethics, that you will uphold and support your local, state, and national association, that you will uphold and support the Virginia Real Estate Board and its enforcement of the license laws, and that you will, in all of your acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, fair play in every manner possible, and endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of our state with the high purpose of your association and welfare of its members. If you so subscribe, answer by saying, I do. I do. Thank you. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do proclaim that you are officially installed to the office to which you have been elected. So congratulations. Amanda and Woody, I have a special pin for each of you. Did you just take that off?
Yes.
Anne's been dusting all morning. She's just like, oh. Rest in peace, little name tag. Amanda and Woody, I have a special pin for each of you, which are thankfully magnetic. So if you all will come over here. So, oh, so glad these are magnets. Okay, smile for the camera. Okay, thank you. No, I don't get to. Not today, at least. Okay, here we go. Yep. Smile again. Okay. I'm sure they will do something with that photo, right? Thank you, guys. Remaining officers and directors, you may return to your seats. Thank you all. Oh, I did that out of order. And as Abby already mentioned, I would like to share that Janice O'Hara and Candace Vanderlinde weren't able to join us this morning. Therefore, incoming President Josh White installed both of them earlier this week. So thank you all to everyone. So before I ask the past presidents to assemble at the front of the stage for the passing of the gavel, I would like to share a couple of words about your CAAR 2025 president, Josh White. It's a special privilege to stand here today to honor and install someone that has been such a special part of our industry, but also of my life. A lot of people don't know this. Josh and I first crossed paths many years ago, back when he and Mallory bought their first little house with our team. Aaron and I knew that there was something special about Josh even then. His faith, his integrity, his work ethic, and his persistence stood out from the earliest interactions, and he almost immediately started pursuing us curiously about real estate. after many discussions, he will remember this, budget planning worksheets where we sat down and figured out like how I could afford to pay him, and prayers about taking a full leap of faith into sales. In 2015, Josh joined the real estate world as my full-time assistant and transaction coordinator. And that was interesting. Let's just say that at that time, Josh was not overly familiar with real estate. And I heard Tim telling his timeline of when you were in town and how long you've been here, like you might have been his first client. So it is a miracle from God that you are still here and you're still friends with him today. But I was like, well, he's a pastor. He has to be forgiving. So here we are. But that is amazing. You got to see him from his very early days, just like hustling and bustling, to now being the epitome of a professional in this field. So I'm so glad that you're here for this today. So Josh stepped into that whirlwind with patience, humility, a relentless work ethic. It's amazing at, how green he was. Between the two of us, I'm pretty sure like he was better at his job than I was at my role as his leader at that time. He got to witness firsthand a leader failing many times and learning how to run a business on the fly. His job description changed daily, as did our CRM, all of our marketing tools, all of the things we were deciding to do for clients at any given time. And like, I remember he was willing to say what he thought. And I remember he was like, are we sure like we want the logo to be pink? And here we are. You could see he was pretty pumped. Everything about this first job in real estate was going super well for him. But he stepped into that. He is used to adversity, I will say that. Back then, he was earning next to nothing. He was working for someone who was also earning next to nothing. He was selflessly fostering children with his wife, Mal, through the local foster care system. He was volunteering tirelessly at his church. And then he and Mal were dreaming of having a family of their own. So it's crazy to stand here today, just 9 short years later. It's officially safe to say that as of today, the student has surpassed the teacher, which is really so cool. He's now the father of 3 beautiful children of his own. He has an assistant who he has coached and mentored to teach her how to start in real estate. He coaches and mentors his colleagues to help grow their businesses. And then of all things, he's achieved some of the highest honors that our association awards. He's been the salesperson of the year, the realtor of the year, and now he's the incoming president of our association. Which feels busy and like a lot to do. And then he juggles it all alongside helping 40 to 50 families buy houses every year, which is crazy. And I always think about it, despite all that he keeps in the air, we get calls from his clients all the time, raving about how great he is, telling me I need to give him a promotion. And then saying that they felt like they were his only client because he was so thorough, he was so attentive, he was so available. And so he just, it's like, okay, you've arrived, you can cool it now. You're making us all look bad. The clients, like his clients adore him. And it's, he pours into them in a way that I've really probably never seen in real estate. Like he just does such an amazing job. His journey is an incredible testament to what hard work, focus, and then unwavering faith can do. But beyond all the accolades, what I think truly sets Josh apart is just his character. He does not cut a corner. He does not waver in his expectation of an excellent experience for his clients. He does not buckle to peer pressure, and he does not bend to what is popular in favor of what is right. Literally, the only bad thing about Josh are his jokes. And they're bad. They like neutralize some of the rest sometimes. But Mallory, thank you for being such a steadfast partner in all of this with all of us. Your support is critical, not just for Josh, but for all of us on the team and in this room who have been impacted by his leadership. If Maggie and Libby and Parks get to watch this after school today, I don't know where there's a camera. Maybe, I don't know if this is virtual or not. Maybe they'll listen to it. Oh, it's up there. Oh, Maggie and Libby and Parks, thank you for sharing your daddy with all of us. You will never know how much he talks about all 4 of the family and all the stories we get to hear. His tireless hours that he dedicates to the real estate world are truly driven by his underlying focus on stability, safety, and love for his family. For Josh's parents who are here today, thank you for whatever you all did to create such an amazing young man. And all of us with kids are going to be lining up for your notes. And as soon as this is over today, we could not ask for a better person to be part of our family and part of our association. Josh, your resilience, your leadership, and your relentless quest to learn more and get better, and your ability to handle the unexpected are what make you such a perfect fit to lead our association during this pivotal and interesting year in real estate. We're so lucky to have a leader of your caliber at the helm. You're not just a top producing agent who in the trenches with all of us trying to figure out the weekly changes in our industry, but you're a man of faith, an amazing husband, an amazing father, an amazing friend, and a true example of servant leadership. So congratulations, my friend. We are better for having you in this position, and I cannot wait to see how you guide us forward. So let's get this done. Congratulations, buddy. Okay, so I now get to bring the whole crew of presidents up. Will all past presidents of CAAR, if you don't recall, you're right up here. Please join us and assemble in chronological order in front of the stage, descending from Anne's presidency. Anne will be on the stairs. You'll be on the stairs. You'll be on these stairs. And then please come on up if you need a reminder of when you were president and who you stand next to. It is on the screen, so come on up, past presidents. This is the hardest part of the day. I think, do you want to? This way or that way? Are we the only one on the stairs? Okay. All right. I think we've gotten it. Past presidents, please remain standing. Oh, we got a few more coming. Anybody else? Any past presidents? Please remain standing throughout the installation. And Josh, will you please join us on stage? And you get to stand next to me so that I can start with you. Okay. Okay. All right, Josh. Not quite yet. I will follow my instructions. Okay, Josh, you have been elected to the office of president for the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors for 2025. Will you accept this position? If so, please answer, yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. The preamble to the Realtor Code of Ethics states that realtors are zealous to maintain and improve the standards of their calling and share with their fellow realtors a common responsibility of integrity and honor. Your role as an officer of the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors places you at the center of this responsibility as a guardian of our profession and of property rights. Your conduct must be a model of the Realtor Code of Ethics. Your knowledge about the real estate industry must be up to date, and your commitment and attitude about realtor leadership should be inspiring to those who will someday follow you. Always remember to strike a healthy balance between your realtor responsibilities with those of your family, your health, and your business. The integrity and honor you bring to this organization must always be founded on the strength of your business and personal life. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly promise and swear that you will administer the office to which you have been elected to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity of the Constitution and bylaws of this association, that you will observe and enforce the Realtor Code of Ethics, that you will uphold and support the Virginia license law and applicable rules, that you will actively support the mission and objectives of this association as well as those of the Virginia Realtors and the National Association of Realtors, and that you will, in all of your actions, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and promote the safeguard and best interests of the Realtor Association and the welfare of its membership. Do you so subscribe? If so, please answer, yes, I will.
Yes, sir.
You can lower your hand. Okay. Oh, wait, did I lose the gavel? Oh, no, okay. Oh, So few responsibilities. Now, the passing of the gavel carries with it the duties and responsibilities of the presidency of this association. It should always be used judiciously with wisdom, vision, honor, and integrity. Past presidents, please pass the gavel. We'll get him a little one. Oh, yeah. I do hereby proclaim you to be duly installed into the office of the president of this association. I have a pen for you. Oh, hold on.
Thank you.
Hopefully it's a slow news day. Thank you to the past presidents for being part of the ceremony. You may return to your seats, as will I.
All right, and you're gonna stay with me up on the podium here. We now have Ann's roast. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So, so first of all, I'd love to sincerely thank Ann for her leadership this year. Obviously, it was a very weird year for real estate, and we're super, super grateful for all that she's done as our president this last year. You've done an extraordinary job, and we have a couple gifts for you. See here. First one is your very own gavel you can hang in your office. So congratulations. Yeah. We have a past president's pin, which is somewhere in here, I think.
Is it on the table?
Oh yeah, here it is. Thank you guys. Very helpful. So we'll put this on as well. That's not right. Good job. And then we've got a couple of gifts. So Anne loves like an array of different culinary things. So we got her just various restaurant gift cards for you to enjoy, and then a very appropriate customized beach towel that I would love for you to hold up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hold it up?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, should I? Are you sure?
Yeah.
This is PG?
It's
PG.
it's okay. You have to show everybody what it says.
Oh my gosh. It says, trading my gavel for flip-flops.
Yeah. Congratulations. Give you this
That
back.
is
so you can
super.
take it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations to you. Oh, I'll take that.
Right. Well, first of all, again, just a huge thanks to Ann. She led through a very challenging year for us with the settlement. She did it with grace, poise, confidence, and never swayed from the mission and the vision of the association. So just congratulations to you. And I know that you'll get some rest, and I know that you'll come back and continue to serve as well. So we've had a lot of fun. I told her I can return from calling them freedom fries to French fries now after my experience with her. So it's been since 2011 that happened, or what, 2001, sorry. So anyway, so may you get some rest. Great job. I would like to take a moment and just introduce and thank some of my guests that are here today. And first of all, thank you to the Lord for giving me this opportunity. I don't take it lightly, and I'm grateful for your trust as well in me this year. Thanks to my beautiful wife, Mallory, who has the exceptionally hard job of chasing our three little ones. It's chaotic at our house right now, but she's truly the MVP behind the scenes and allows me to do all of these different things. My parents, Susan and Johnny, who drove from Lexington this morning, have not only kept me alive for 18 years, which was a feat on its own, like back in those days, but to continue to be a constant support and encouragement for me as well. They instilled in me a desire to serve and help by their example, just as we grew up and seeing them serve people around them. My father-in-law, Clay, for making the drive from Richmond this morning and representing he and Cindy, my mother-in-law, both of whom are very, very special to me and treat me like I'm their own kid. So we're grateful for wonderful parents and grandparents. Sasha for taking a chance on me 9 years ago, going to grab a cup of coffee that turned into assistant role, and the rest was history. Without your faith in me and constant teaching, I wouldn't be standing here today. To our whole team at Story House, we have such a great family. You guys are the real heroes day in and day out, and making real estate fun, meaningful, and very encouraging. To my fellow CAAR agents, it's so fun to be able to get to know our network of people over the past almost decade that I've been in this business, just getting to know a lot of the people who have been in this business for many, many years. A few quick shout outs to our Montague Miller family, first of all, for Percy, and just for kind of looking at him as a leader in our industry and in our association for years, and just the presence that he's had. For Barbara McMurray, I'll never forget her classes for keeping me out of realtor jail, as she likes to say. Never been there, and so plan not to be. And I'll give that to credit to Barbara. For Reeves Bailey, again, for setting an example of how to treat people and how to do business, just in deals. And then Kyle Olson also for teaching me about foreclosures and just about being a great referral partner for folks over in the Valley for me for years too. So there's so many more that I've learned from, I've traveled with, some funny stories from traveling, and then people that I admire, a lot of you in this room. And we're blessed by an incredible network of professionals in our association, affiliates as well. It's truly one of the things that separates our association from the many that we see around the nation when we travel, is just the camaraderie and the partnership and the family that we have here. Sales has been in my blood since I was a kid. I didn't know it at the time. There was a used toy store in my hometown. We used to take things there and try to trade it in and try to trade up. I don't think that kind of thing happens anymore, but I would be the kid that would want like a new video game, and my mom's like, okay, well, like cobble together the ones that you want to trade and we'll go and see what we can do. So I think it kind of started there for me. I love selling, but I didn't chase it in the first steps of my career. I was actually a teacher and a coach for the first couple years of my career, but it's become apparent that I have loved sales. And connecting someone with something that they want or need has been something that I've always really enjoyed, and I'm passionate about it. My dad has owned his own business since he was in his early 30s, and he works on fire engines and ambulances all over the state. I worked for him for a while and realized that was not my calling. That was probably going to cause him a lot more cost on his liability insurance. But he was constantly showing me how to win deals and serve clients. My grandfather sold just about everything you can imagine, from hot tubs to pharmaceuticals to insurance, and was excellent at it. And so I grew up with the ABCs of sales, and y'all probably know what the ABCs are, right? Always be what? Closing. Always be closing, right? And I think that's been kind of the nature of real estate for many, many years. It's like this idea of always be closing. I think it's a great mentality for salespeople. I think it's a great goal-setting mentality. It's likely served all of us very well. And closing's always been the end goal, and we're all aware that the journey to the final handoff of keys is what really matters at the end of the deal. But more than just closing the deal, the relationship, the problem solving, navigating the issues, building the trust, advocating well, these are all much more important than the closing. I think the better ABCs for us to be focused on in the new normal post-NAR settlement world is one that coaches and teachers shared with me growing up, that's adversity builds character, or as Tim said earlier, that adversity builds clarity in our worlds. We must go back to this fundamental as individuals and as an organization as we press forward. Adversity can birth change. And again, like I said, it brings clarity. I think the adversity of the past year with the practice changes, which have been challenging on top of high interest rates and low inventory, have created a perfect storm. It's been difficult as practitioners of real estate and difficult for the association as well. As we look at our value proposition for the association, we have to lean into the idea that this adversity brings clarity in what we do. And I think it's great to look at some businesses that have done this. So many successful businesses that we know and love today actually had to reinvent themselves during times of market disruption. First of all, like Marvel, the Marvel movies, they went from a struggling comic book company to global cinematic success story, right? Netflix, remember mail order DVDs? delivered a streaming service that provides access to entertainment and creates its own material, and you can instantly get on it and look and watch. Starbucks, from a local coffee shop to a ubiquitous brand and a model for the modern coffee shop environment. Apple, from a computer company to the global trendsetter in all kinds of things, fashion, culture, transformation, you name it. Amazon, online book sales to selling literally everything from goods to services. All of these companies, think if these companies had just kept doing business in the same way, they wouldn't be here. We wouldn't know about them. And so they no longer exist, but rather through the adversities that they faced, they adapted and brought change to their structure, to their models, and found huge success. 2025 is the 100th year anniversary of CAAR, which is awesome. I think we should just give that a round of applause. That is truly a milestone for any organization. CAAR has thrived through wars, changes in local, state, and national government, tough economies, through periods of great cultural transformation, unrest, not to mention a global pandemic, and we continue to thrive. The association, through its incredible leaders in the past, many in this room, have zigged and zagged to find the success and member value that match the times and the places that they found themselves in. We've always focused on the importance of advocacy, both for the practitioner and the consumer, above all for our local market and for property rights. We've offered various member benefits and tools that enhance our day-to-day workflow and we continue to innovate to make these better as well. CAAR's promoted a culture of professionalism, collaboration, diversity, equity, inclusion that is second to none, even throughout our nation at this point with some of the travels that we've done. And most of all, we have pointed to the higher calling and purpose that real estate is being engaged and involved in our local community and helping those who we serve, no matter who they are or where they come from. CAAR is the center of real estate in the greater Charlottesville area, supporting sustainable business while promoting community outreach, advocacy, and inclusivity. Over the next year, as we roll out our new strategic plan, we have some very achievable but very critical goals. We are committed to continuing to cultivate business sustainability. We want to be here for another 100 years. We want to continue to be relevant in our community. We are committed to cultivating options for non-dues revenue and diversifying our revenue streams as CAAR. We are discussing the future of both the commercial and residential MLS and what impacts the nation's conversations about the lawsuit have on those sorts of things. CAAR will continue to advocate for policies that protect property rights, promote fair housing, support community economic health, representing members and the public in legislative matters in a fair real estate market. And we will keep the consumer and property rights front and center in all of our endeavors because above all is the land, as the Code of Ethics says. CAAR will focus on member growth and retention by continuing to provide top-tier professional development opportunities. We'll continue to work on fostering an inclusive environment where all voices are heard and valued, enriching our association, and aligning our services with our community needs. And above all, CAAR is committed to its members and the communities that they serve despite the market, despite the economy, or despite the situation that we find ourselves in. I can say I'm honored, I'm excited to serve as your 2025 president. My door is always open to anyone who has questions, comments, or concerns. May we all continue to make CAAR not only a professional association that will continue for future generations of realtors, but a staple in our community that serves as a resource for real estate decisions and advocacy for real estate. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to work with you in this very important endeavor, and thank you for putting your trust in me this year. Thank you. And back to the strategic plan. As we live and breathe our vision, mission, and values, our strategic plan project team determined 5 priorities that we are focused on, that our committees, councils, and project teams will be working on in the next few years. These 5 priorities include cultivating business sustainability, developing community connections, empowering advocacy, building engagement, and embracing inclusivity and diversity. And I encourage you to download the entire strategic plan and read it. It's great. It was a great endeavor You can scan the QR code or go to the governing documents section of the CAAR.com website. And please sign up to be a volunteer as well. If you feel strongly about these things, I would love to see you as a volunteer. Again, eagerly look forward to our 100th year celebration. And we're gonna have some great events as part of that. So be on the lookout for celebrations throughout the year, including official proclamations that will be made at local and state government meetings, which is pretty awesome, and historical trivia, a signature event, and more. So be watching News Group for that. To help the association navigate a successful year ahead, I would also like to share the incoming chairs and vice chairs of our committees and councils. They're listed on the screen. Thank you in advance to those who are already lined up, and we're really excited for what we have in store. So to conclude this morning's meeting, I would like to welcome the following new Realtor members, Jordan Lynch and Zeta Zerone. If you're a new Realtor, you're welcome to introduce yourself. Anybody here that's new? Okay. In addition, any new affiliate members? Mariana Sonder with United Bank. We love our affiliate members. Same offer as well. So yeah, but please, as we exit today, please check the CAAR education and events calendar for upcoming education and events. And thank you guys again for being with us today, and have a happy holiday season. This meeting is adjourned.